Hello everybody, I'm Victor Lionhead, translates to Lionhead from Swedish, and I'm the founder of Lionbite Games and also the game director on this game that you're about to get a walkthrough on, Reign of Reflections. We're an 8-people Stockholm-based indie studio, and this is our debut title, due to release on Steam on the 20th of September. I'll just go ahead and start a new game.
It's the 22nd century. Humankind has become infertile. Surrounded by hostile wastelands, we struggle, on the verge of extinction. But there is still hope. The last child from a natural pregnancy.
Yeah, so there you have it, the setup and premise for our world and scenario and story. A futuristic dystopian scenario where humankind has lived through an AI uprising and gone infertile. The game is our own science fiction, neo-noir, cyberpunkish blend, I guess you could call it. And it's also a real mix of game genres. It's an adventure game with deep character interactions, dialogues where you choose the main characters every single spoken line. And in here we have 3 fast-paced hacking puzzle minigames that evolve during the game. And a major part is the turn-based strategic encounters, of course, where we have everything ranging from stealth to all-out guns-blazing confrontations, where everything in the battlefield is destructible. But let's begin with listening to our protagonist, Willona.
I used to appreciate being left alone with my thoughts at night. Now it just feels haunting. I keep worrying about the future. Turning my back on everything I've believed in. Leaving my entire world behind. I have to remind myself that this is bigger than any single one of us. The child must be set free, so that she can save us all.
Yeah, so this first chapter, Set Free, is centered on Willona Hart, and she's the perspective from which you will experience the, I guess,
new message on my
entrance into this world, which is all based in and around one city, a fictional city with lots of different layers and a myriad of colorful characters.
Well, confirmation. Well, I just received confirmation. Operation Diffuse is moving ahead.
So Willona's friend and colleague Luca
this is it.
has just pinged her with a confirmation on her Bracecom device that their plan to set the child free, which they have dubbed Operation Diffuse, is moving ahead.
Luke will be waiting for me in the trench. I need to get there now.
And so as you start moving your character, you can do it in 2 different ways. So depending on the input you prefer, for example, if you prefer a mouse, you are actually able to point and click her around the environment. But if a gamepad is more your style, it will actually switch to direct control of her. So we're kind of doing a genre blend even depending on the input device you choose, and we're trying to cater to the strengths of each device rather than prioritizing one and shoehorning the other one in there. And so I'm going to go over to Willona's computer here and show you the depth of the interactions in our world. You can even log into it, you can browse pictures, and she will give her thoughts and insights on that.
Where did we go wrong?
It's all very fragmented and told very specifically, subjectively from her perspective. And so it's not like on the nose in its exposition, rather you will have to pick up these fragments and kind of piece them together, and that goes for the game in its entirety. On Willona's computer we also have hacking practice, so you can have a look at the 3 basic different types of hacking minigames that the first chapter feature.
I'll start with the firewall hacks.
The first one is you rotating a shape, fitting it into an outline.
Just need to rotate the shapes to fit the outlines.
To kind of peel off the layers
Snap right into place.
to reveal the core. And so the idea with these node maps for the hacking is of course that they kind of correspond to the functionality that you want to access. And also the minigames in themselves metaphorically correspond to what you're actually doing. So that first one you're freeing the core, the next one you're actually moving the core, and that means that the gameplay now is momentum based.
Go.
And as with every type of input in the game, every interaction really, it's all turn-based, at least waiting for your input. And so that's kind of the design philosophy of it, that you can play it in your own pace, however fast or slow you wanna play it. It's all dependent on your input. In this last example of Breach, where you're moving the core around, we're even showing off the bouncing mechanic. And the third type is comms.
Comms hacking.
Here you're pinging for a source that you're supposed to listen for. And so you have the spatial sound, but also you get a ping back. And the sound in itself, the source, will actually clear as you move closer. So for example, now you can hear it coming a bit more from the left.
Only for the sake of your little old mother. I haven't heard from you in quite a while, dear.
Yes, getting there.
And there it was. And actually, for every session, the source is moving around randomly. So I couldn't know by heart without actually actively playing this minigame where the source is. I think I'm very close now. Yeah, probably over here.
There it is.
And also Willona, of course, nudges you in the right direction. So there are all these small nuanced cues from her to kind of help you on your way. But beyond that, beyond Willona's thoughts, every single line that is actually spoken out loud is chosen by you.
Could do this in my sleep by now.
And I will show you how in just a little while. First I will show you the depth of the interactions that we have.
My compositions are never really finished.
So
just abandoned.
It's all optional, of course, but the interactions and the level of detail of these is kind of ridiculous in places. Here, for example, you can even play Willona's theme on the keyboard. But let's go over, in the interest of time, to the work table to have a look at her inventory items. Even here we have doodles that she's made, and actually these were drawn by our own actress, Anna Stahl, or Ståhl as we would say in Swedish, that is playing the main character. So we're kind of really trying to make it personal and tie them intimately together.
I wish I had more time to work on my cloak. It hasn't even been field tested. Well, no time for that now.
So I've just picked up the cloak controller, which obviously then controls the cloak that Willona has in her jacket, and so we're adding that to our inventory together with this power charge, and now we're up and running. The only remaining thing we would need now is Willona's actual jacket. Mother is calling.
Can't be a coincidence. I should figure out what she knows.
So maybe Mother is on to Willona in her plans. We'll see.
Oh, there you are. What a relief. I was afraid I wouldn't get a hold of you.
And now we enter into the dialogue system, and once again it's all turn-based. So you can linger on your choices, you can look at them, you'll see the full line spelled out. The idea here is, of course, that you're supposed to make very conscious choices and really weigh in on them before committing to them, because once you commit to them, they're actually final and they will mostly have consequences. So these show off the branching dialogues, and as you can see, the one I'm not picking is being excluded.
You sound worked up, Mother. What's going on?
There are reports of terrorist activity escalating in one city. I really fear for your safety, Willona.
Yeah, so Mother is worried about her daughter and about the terrorist activity, and so you can proceed by asking more about that, learning more about her insight into the situation and her perspective on it, of course. And that you can do through our topic tree.
Any chance we can pick this up tomorrow?
Let me get to the point first. In view of the infrared threat, I've arranged for you to be escorted safely out of One City tonight.
Yeah, so Mother even wants to send an escort to extract Willona. It's very hands-on, and as a minister, she may have the power to do such a thing. So here you can actually make a stand and kind of remind your mother that you're a grown woman. You can get topical about the threat, and that will bring you into a different discussion. You can even go as far as to just hang up on her to really make a point.
Call ended.
Why?
Administrator override.
Willona, did you just hang up on me?
Or wait, should we really commit to this? Yeah, you've got another input here for a chance to back out if you want to do that. But in my case, I'm gonna make myself clear through this.
I think I've made myself clear.
Then let me be clear.
Lockdown in effect.
And so we got locked in from that.
Seriously, Mother.
I do not much care for that tone, Willona. Our top priority is getting you out
And
of
so
harm's
Mother
way.
still insists,
Your escort should arrive shortly.
and she's sending the escort.
Everything will be fine.
But of course we
As soon as we're
won't
together.
stick around for that.
Call ended.
Mother's interference could jeopardize the whole operation. I made a promise to Luke. Can't back out now.
So
A lockdown. Like that's ever going to hold me back.
we're gonna tackle this
This shouldn't be too difficult.
the good old-fashioned hacking way. Yeah, so now we've exited into the stem point 7, as the title says, and this is the 7th point of the star-shaped stem, which has a very central position in one city and holds the upper-class citizens referred to as the Suprans. And Willona is part of this world, something that she's now kinda turning her back on through her actions, of course, working with the rebels to free the world's last naturally born child, which she has been experimenting on. That wasn't clear already. And so the escort is coming for her, and Willona, for the first time,
must have seen
tries out her
Here goes nothing.
prototype cloak.
I should hack into their comms. Listen in. The cloak. One used drained a full battery. Should have gotten around to that field test sooner.
In the middle of everything, Willona's cloak is failing on her. So at this point, we're gonna have to try and find some charge for her to be able to once again activate her cloak.
Oh, great.
Officer, the line is still open. Quit doing that.
Sorry, I got that song stuck in my head.
Yeah, well, you sure butchered it.
Need to power my cloak. Maybe I could salvage more power from that broken down bot.
And this will bring her into the next type of gameplay situation, I guess you could call it. Yeah, so here it is, the encounter system being introduced. And this is all turn-based.
Need to think strategically about this.
Yeah, she said it, and that goes for the entire game really, but in this case it's very much a commitment. So that is why we have a preview like this. So whenever you mark a spot once, a tile that you want to move to with your marker, we're showing that being executed on before you commit to it. And in this case, since it's in a tutorial, it's apparent that we should just follow orders.
What's that sound?
The bolt heard that. I've raised suspicion.
I'm gonna explain that to you in a little while, the motivation system, which is very central to the experience. But for now, I'm just gonna linger on the whole idea of him hearing that noise when Willona ran through that water puddle. The enemy, or any unit really, uses all their senses to update their pings on enemy positions. And so you have to be very careful with how much noise you make, and also, of course, potentially what they would see.
There.
Leader, I think somebody's sneaking
And it's
around
all
here.
supposed to be very intuitive in the way that it's logical, but to clarify, you always have the movement UI to look at. And that will show you the necessary information in every instance. And so now he went over to check
Can't
on
forget
that
my
noise. He didn't see anything at this point, but to have it stay that way, we're gonna have to cloak before we move, because he's actually standing watching. And so now our
He
path
does.
is safe and all white and nice. And I'm gonna do a double move, spending both my action points to execute. And so here we go.
Area cleared. Nothing to report.
For now at least. We've cleared the suspicion, and as his status effect says, he's now unaware.
I really need to get out of here.